And roller. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Watchma'S Hour with Roshan Melwani, Sunday, December 21st, 2025. And it's a landmark episode. It's episode 30. Goodness me. Never thought that I would make it here. I have three questions to start with. Number one, how many of you actually know the live kickoff time and join me here on purpose, premeditated, every Sunday? Well, my Sundays. Question number two is, maybe this is for the comments after the live is posted. How many of you actually watch my entire podcast pre-posting, even if you don't watch it live? And question number three, ready for this one? Do you like my head down? Or do you like the roast hawk? Okay, so question number one you can answer now. Question number two will be for the comments after I post those. And question number three will be for now as well. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today, right? Today is Sunday, and I've had Rian with me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because it's been Christmas holidays, okay? So last Friday was Saria's birthday, and she had a birthday party Friday night with her friends. And then last Sunday, we skipped a week because my horse was running, and I'll try and squeeze that all in. And there's plenty of content out already on what I'm talking about, what I'm going to talk about. And then Sunday I was wrapped up with the races. I hope all of you can hear me. And from Monday onwards, since Christmas holidays started, since Friday was the last day of school, Rian has joined me at work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Rian is just a few weeks, just under a month shy of his 14th birthday. So thank you, Jeremy. So he is 13 years old, and this is his, let's see. So he did 2 days with me at Christmas, 1 day at Chinese New Year, 11 days in Easter, 11 days in summer. I think during half-term break, he came for 1.5 days, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's Christmas, so this is his sixth stint with me inside 12 months, which I think is incredible. And a lot of people over the year, both by text, but primarily in person, people come to the shop. Dupuva, I appreciate you. Guys, like I've always said, if you're going to say something, introduce yourself, tell me what your real name is, your handle I can't read, how old you are, male or female, and which city you're talking from, and then ask your question and I'll answer it, okay? If I don't get that intro from you, then I won't answer your question. Pretty simple, okay? I think that's just great for the community that we have here, and great for the community that we're building here. Yes, I will sell you my son's old suits that he's outgrown to your grandson. Send me an email on web@samstaylor.com and we can make that happen for you. No issues whatsoever. Rian's suits are just sick. So those of you who watch Rian know that his suits are just sick, and I encourage you all to follow Rian on his Instagram at Rian Melwani Sam's Taylor. Hello, Devin. So Rian was with me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it is just remarkable, right? Like, first of all, he dresses so well, right? His suits are just off the hook sick. They're sicker than mine, right? He just dresses so fucking well. It is incredible, right? He's just a wow, okay? Number two, hello, Jeremy from Montreal. I learned my trade on the job, basically. Jeremy, if you stay to the end, I'll answer all questions comprehensively in detail. So he just looks the part. To everything he does, he takes extremely seriously. It is wonderful. I cannot even explain the feeling as a father, right? To have your son at work 5 days straight with you. You know, Monday was a massive whirlwind for him, because if he's working alongside me, can you block this guy Arjun straight away? Lisa. You know, just talking garbage, and that's not what we want in this community and stuff. he takes everything he does so seriously. Like, and Monday was a whirlwind because he worked alongside me, and we worked along this with this celebrity, Tia Carrera. Okay, I don't know how many of you know Tia Carrera. She's a Lilo and Stitch star. So she's Lilo and Stitch, real life star in their real life movies. She's Lilo and Stitch voice in their cartoon movies. She starred in Wayne's World when I was a teenager. Okay, she starred in General Hospital when I was a child. So an actress, you know, who's been working for over 40 years in Hollywood and stuff. So we worked with her alongside a lot of other people, and it was really a whirlwind for him. Very, very difficult for him to keep up. That's why I always tell him, you spend the first day with me, and those of you who watch me, I've said this over and over. I tell Rian, spend the first day along my side, but ultimately it's too fast, too swift time for you, and the rest of the time be by the staff. And he has just embraced it yet again. Now, what I tell him, I mean, I don't want to be repetitive, right? So I'll give you some insights, right? So what I tell him is that, bro, this is your business, right? Okay. And it's not about like acting like the boss, but it is about acting like the boss, right? Not being a dick and giving orders, but being in control, not being a fucking bystander. And I fucking hate bystanders. You guys know how I am, right? What the fuck is the point of fucking bystander, right? I've said this before. I think it was the Detroit Pistons. I've used this analogy many times. Detroit Pistons, I think it was Joe Dumas joined this, sick team that already had Bill Laimbeer and Isaiah Thomas, et cetera, the bad boys. And somebody told Joe, I don't know if it was the, head of basketball operations, I don't think it was a coach. And he said, you're not going to get the ball, right? You're basically not going to get the ball. So you make yourself fucking useful if you want to break into this team. And Joe Dumas just played fucking crazy rabbit dog defense and, made himself a part of the bad boys. And So it's a great analogy, right? You look at Kobe Mainoo at Man U, right? He comes and he can't fucking do shit at all, right? When you're given the chance, you've got to fucking step up and own it and stuff. So I tell him, step up and own it. Anytime a client is coming in, say the client's working with Deep or with Mira or with Jay or with Tarzan or with Lovejeet or with Sita, go stand by their side, go learn, go talk. And your grandfather owns the shop, your father runs the shop. Don't be a pedestrian, don't be a bystander, don't be a fucking loser. Go in there and get involved. And he's really been getting involved, and I'm really, really, really proud of him. He did a bit of packing, he did a bit of DHLs, but primarily what he's doing, you can see this all on the Sam Sailor WhatsApp channel. You should join that if you want some different insights that don't come on Instagram. You can join the Sam Sailor WhatsApp channel. And you can see like the videos that he does, right? So one of my staff will be recording, and he's actually making great videos presenting goods to clients abroad. These are mail order clients, or they've shopped in Hong Kong and we have to ship the goods home to them. We have a policy, I invented this policy, that the client must screen all the goods first. And after the client screens the goods and stuff and approves all the stuff that we take them through, then and they okay it, then only do we ship. If they have any concerns, we address them. If they want any changes, we make the changes and stuff. Now, my staff were doing this, so Seetal is not Voco and Josephine is not Voco. So they will just take photos and send. But Mira, Lovejeet, Tarzan, they will hold the camera and actually video the goods and talk behind the camera like this. But once Rian started a year ago, right, we threw him in front of the camera. So whichever staff member is holding the camera, he will actually be presenting the goods to the client. So there's some great footage, and I put all this fucking footage on the Sam Sailor WhatsApp channel. So you join the Sam Sailor WhatsApp channel and see insights that can't be seen anywhere else. I put videos in the past where I'm videoing over his head and stuff, and I did one at the start of this week today just to give you guys a refresher. But he's really, really, really been involved. And and this week, we've been super busy, and he's heard me yelling at fucking people and telling fucking people off and demanding things and pushing things. And you can see how his father is super dynamic, right? And I'm not praising myself, this is far from it. I'm trying to give you an honest insight into what my son is seeing, right? He's seeing real deal stuff, and he's been chatting with his grandfather and so forth, and he's been hanging with Tarzan. He made a video with Tarzan and stuff. I can't tell you how amazing this is for him. And this time in the store has really brought him out of his shell this year. He's amazing. If you watch his videos on Rian Melwani, at Rian Melwani, you can see how confident he is with the hanger and talking to clients of any age, any age, wherever the fuck they're from. He's confident. He really is confident, and he has his own sense of humor. He throws in things that I didn't even think of and stuff. And, you know, during the middle of the week, I told him we were walking to grab a snack, and I was like, look, it's amazing that you're slipping so seamlessly into your father's footsteps, right? And of course, you're not doing the ass-touching bullshit that I do and stuff, and you'll never do that, right? But ultimately, you need to experiment with your own humor, and you need to break out free. It doesn't have to be young Chinese boy, young English boy, old English man, and the hang and stuff. It can be something else. It can be whatever you want it to be, and this is your time to experiment until you find your niche. So it is just incredible. It is a fucking blessing from God. It is a blessing from the universe. It is a blessing with me being so, you know, like fucking gung-ho about everything in my fucking life, right? To have my son here, this is his sixth stint, and it's just brilliant. And he's done 5 days out of 5 this week. I told him Saturday, Sunday you take off. Saturday he went to play soccer. It's been great. And you know, one of the days this week he told me and my friends are going out tonight. I said, go out for as late as you fucking want. He's very wholesome. His friends are pretty wholesome. They're young, right? So go out as late as you want, do whatever you want, spend as much money as you want. It really doesn't matter to me. Just go have a good time. He came home at like 11:50. It's the latest by far he's ever come home. And I let him sleep in, but he still woke up at his own time and came down to the store. Maybe it was half an hour late, 40 minutes late, whatever. And another great thing that I did with him this week is, like, if you've been watching me, then you know that we had our elections 2 weeks ago, right, for Legco. And I endorsed 2 candidates, and I did videos for them and stuff. Now, both those candidates were elected, and we were invited immediately to Legco. I was. So I went to Legco on Wednesday, right, and it's absolutely stunning. I haven't put the content out yet. And I told them I'm going to bring my son with me, and they're like, fine. So I got I got this huge tour of Legco, which is beautiful. This is a new Legco. I'd been to the old Legco with my father years ago. So the fact that I was taking my son after my father taking me to the old Legco years ago, you know, the legacy aspect, the heritage aspect is huge. And you guys know I'm all about legacy and heritage. And I'm building my own now here. You know what I mean? I'm piling it on top of my father's, which I've been doing always, broken away from him, creating my own platform, my own heritage, my own legacy, passing it on to my son. It's brilliant. I've got another view on YouTube. I would love for you to type and tell me who you are. So that was a fantastic experience, and he met Regina Ip, the Iron Lady, the Iron Maiden of Hong Kong politics, okay, as well, and he got a photo with her and stuff. Now, I haven't put that content out yet because I'm super content heavy. It's just insane. Like, there's a lot of content, you know. I may have like 11,000 fucking videos, but you know, I've got another 11,000 or more that I've not published. Easy, and that's just the truth. It is impossible with the amount of, you know, I'm a walking content generator. The amount of content that I have, it is impossible for me to put it all out. It's just not fucking happening. So Rian, at the young age of 13, becomes the first kid to ever visit Legco at that age, and we get taken inside the chamber, of course, and we see how the whole setup is. It is just so insightful because it's our government, right? And we're both born in Hong Kong, and you know, we're so into Hong Kong. It was just such an amazing feeling. And you know, I'm extremely big on legacy, and I'm very big on heritage, right? And I don't understand, like, you know, why so many people do not like that, right? I don't get it, right? Like, so I have always been like slated for some reason, right? It doesn't make any sense to me, like, oh, this is before social media as well, right? Like, anything that I've ever done, anything that I ever do, anything that I've ever accomplished, right, is supposedly negated. It can be by haters on social media, which is in the current era, but also haters in my community here, right? And just haters everywhere, or just people everywhere, whatever. Everyone says that it's his father's platform, and he's only succeeding because it's his father's platform. No fucking shit. When did I ever deny that, right? And I mean, like, I don't understand what is wrong with that, right? Like, you know, generational businesses, right, and hereditary, right, has been around long before I've been around, long before my father was around, long before Sam Taylor's was around, right? And it's been around globally, and it still exists, okay? So why is it that the woke white West, why is it that liberals, why is it that the welfare lovers, right, why is it the handout lovers, they hate legacy, they hate heritage, you know what I mean, they try to undercut you with nasty stuff. And like, even if we say, forget about the haters on the internet and stuff, forget about the haters on social media, it's my community as well. Now, it's like, so it's my community as well. It's like all the Sindhis here will say the same fucking thing. And I'm like, but all of you fuckers work for your father as well. You know what I mean? Like, so, and especially their bitch wives, right? Like the bitch wives, the desperate housewives, right? Will constantly watching my videos, and just say that, the platform I had was something that launched me. And the thing is, right, that one, what's wrong with that? Two, it's been happening forever. Three, it's been happening forever globally. Four, your fucking dumbass fucking fat-bellied husbands are working for their fathers or taking over their father's business. I came into my own long before COVID, right? But I think, like I've always said, that I exploded during COVID and stuff. And by then I'd already wrested the business away from my dad, right? Now, I may not be the owner, right? You can call me the manager, the whatever, the chief operational officer. I really fucking don't know. I just got to earn money, right? I got to earn big, and I got to fucking keep my business in the eye of everybody, right? And, I got to, like, hand over the football, right? Hand over the ball, hand over the baton, the nuclear package, whether it's in my control right now or not, right? You cannot sit down. Can you block this guy big time, Timmy, straight away for coming on with hate? I cannot, like, just, sit and do nothing and have, see if the business continues to run in whatever fucking direction it runs, or it fizzles out or whatever. Now listen, any bad that happens will be on my fucking shoulders, right? I will be shat on. Regardless of how hard I work, if Sam Taylor doesn't succeed, it will be because of me, because Sam Taylor was successful, and then my grandfather, and then uberly successful, and then my father. And so, basically when, COVID hit and stuff, and we were fucked, right? I pivoted immediately, and I fucking exploded, and here I am fucking now, and I fucking absolutely love it. And I'm so fucking proud of myself, and I say this to you guys all the time. And, I encourage everyone to be bold, and I encourage everyone, in the lectures that I've given and mentioned this before, one of the things that I've told organizations, or I've told students and stuff, is that, you've got to, like, not listen to the hate and the sound, all right? And so many people, 99.9% of people are just, swatted away by the hate and the sound and the noise. And if you want to succeed, you've got to move beyond that, right? And you have to have a single-mindedness. You have to have an open-mindedness, but you also have to have a single-mindedness. And that's the only way you are going to be able to succeed and drive yourself forward. And even if you fail, you need to at least drive yourself forward till that failure point, right? And the only way you can get there is by, focusing with blinkers, but still being open and driving forward. And that's how it is. And that's how it is. And I've said the anecdote before, about, taking Sam Taylor to 50 years, 55 years, 60 years, 65 years. Now we are here at 68 years. And I've got my son doing the 6th stint at work, and he's only 13 years old. So, well done, Rian. Well done, me. And well done, the team at Sam's Taylor, for embracing Rian and teaching Rian and coddling Rian and just giving Rian the opportunity to do everything. I mean, I couldn't have done. Can we block Getting Kami as well? Lisa, I don't think you're doing anything right now. Can you block Getting Kami? From the offset, they embraced him as their own. And, okay, so Jay and Deep, I have to keep telling them, what the fuck are you guys doing? Teach my son, please, teach my son, please teach my son. I don't know why they're not so embraceful and stuff. But, Mira Seetal Tarzan, Josephine Lavjit have just been incredible. And, I'm so grateful to them. And, my son is learning so much because of them, right? I get to continue running my business and doing what I want. And I don't have to just look after my son all the time. I trust my team with them. And they are taking amazing care of him and educating him, and he's growing stronger and stronger and stronger. Everyone on YouTube, can you give me a roll call, please? Because I can't see who you are, and you're very, 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 very quiet. I'll answer all the questions at the end of the stream, I promise you. I mean, I appreciate all of you guys. A couple of things, that I wanted to mention about more than one thing is, like, if being a true winner, a serial winner is winning even when you don't win. maybe that's something that was crossing my mind when I was walking across the street, and I don't remember what that anecdote was about and stuff. But even when you don't win, you must win. All right? Even when you don't win, you must win. All right? That's what being a serial winner is. Now I'm going to tell you a great story. Okay? So I mentioned Let's Go briefly, right? And I backed 2 candidates, and both candidates won. Okay? I didn't have to do this. I can just go vote quietly. I don't have to vote. I can lie about voting, and so forth. I didn't have to do this for these candidates, but I did it, and they both won. Now they're in Let's Go, right? Now I'm not going to say they owe me a favor. Okay? They don't owe me a favor. They didn't ask me to do this stuff. I chose to do this, okay? But I've demonstrated that I'm a patriot. I've demonstrated that I want to help. I've demonstrated that I want to be involved. And I put my name in the minds of people, okay? I put my name in the minds of people. Now, if you want magic to happen for yourself, and magic always happens for me, right? Like my career and my daily life is fucking magical. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck to tell you, right? The more stories I tell you, the more egotistical you think I am, right? The more stories I tell you, the more egotistical you think I am. It doesn't make fucking any sense to me. I'm here to tell you about my fucking life. I'm here to tell you about my adventures. I'm here to tell you about my successes and my failures, right? The more magic you try to create, you've got to throw stuff out. You're throwing magic out. I always call it throwing magic out. Nobody can understand it. They don't have to understand it. They don't have to believe in it. I've got a lot of viewers on YouTube. I want to hear who you are, especially Michael Schultz. Thank you so much. You've got to throw magic out, and maybe it doesn't happen. And 99.9% of the time it doesn't happen, but you've got to keep throwing the magic out for it to happen, right? And you may say to me that, so what if you went to Let's Go and stuff? And it won't be you guys, right? It won't be you guys. It would be the scum here in Hong Kong. The scum in Hong Kong, right? The woke white West fuckers and the Indian cunts, okay? And I'm saying, like, so what if you went to Let's Go? I'm like, bro, fucking, you've got to believe that these are baby steps for magic happening. Now let's talk about, winning when you don't win, all right? My horse ran on Sunday, okay? So, at this crazy morning, my great friend and client, he's about 63 years old, he has a horse in the international races. This is the biggest horse race of the season, okay? And you've got to be in it to win it. And even if you're just in it and you don't win it, you're fucking in it. And nobody else is fucking in it. But I'm always fucking in it, all right? Now, last year, I was after Karma won his 5th out of 15 races. Karma is my horse, and I won that giant trophy, right? Karma didn't take his chances. He was in 6 cup races in a row. He went into group racing, and he didn't take his chances. I always take my fucking chances. But I was there, okay? And I got myself there with this horse. And you can say to yourself that it's not you, Roshan, it's the horse. How can you take care of the horse? It is my positive vibes, believe me. Okay, I turned myself into a negative meme and then a very positive meme. And I raced on 1 year ago on the Wednesday at the International Jockeys Championships. And this year, incredibly, I raced at the Hong Kong International Races on the undercard. Okay, the undercard is I didn't race in the 4 major championship races, right, with all the global horses that came down racing, right? But I raced on the undercard with a bunch of local horses, which is fine. And I came 8th, whatever, but I was there. I was fucking there. And I wasn't just there. And if you've been watching my Facebook, if you've been watching my TikTok, if you've been watching my YouTube, if you've been watching my Instagram, you would have seen that I got... these are great questions. You've got to stay till the end of the stream and I'll answer them all. I promise you. You've got to stay to the end of the stream and I'll answer them all. I really want to help you guys, but stay with me. So I get to the international races. I'm like, I can't believe I'm running the international races. Last year I ran the International Jockey Championships. And of course my horse is a fucking piece of shit now, right? He didn't come anywhere in those 6 races, and he went out injured for fucking 8 months, and he's come back and he's run like dog shit, and he's run like dog shit even worse. Okay. But what happened is, so I had my client land from London at like 7-something a.m. and he goes and checks into the Ritz, and then he comes over to my house. And then I bring him down to the shop and I do some work with him and stuff. And that's why I couldn't stream last week. We had to skip the Watchma'S hour. Then I went to the races with my wife and kids, and I was like a fucking god over there. Honestly, I was treated so fucking well by everybody, even though I wasn't in the championship races. And at the start of the day, Australia TV, right? They interviewed me. So you will see they've put out 3 videos, okay? One is an interview with me and Rian. One is a just one-on-one with Rian. You know how huge a win that is, right? Forget the me and Rian one. To have my son one-on-one with the compere, the reporter on the mic. Have you guys seen this video? But even the video of me and my son together, right? When the mic goes over to my son, they talk to him about the horse and the race. There's no okay? He is pristine. The boy is pristine. Answering about the race and the course and the chances and all this stuff. Now, how often do you get a 13-year-old boy that is pristine? Now, if you've got to watch his videos if you haven't seen them, okay? I'm not in Thailand, I'm in Hong Kong. And you can order a suit from me by mail, you don't have to travel here. So the boy is pristine. Lisa and Danielle, I know you've seen the videos, and you understand that Rian's response to a question that he doesn't know what the question is going to be, he doesn't even know he's going to be asked a question. Thank you, Maximilian. You know, his response is pristine. If I got an outside question, I don't know. I don't have the horse racing intelligence like he does, okay? And I don't know how the guy, Luke Dittman, the reporter, got the idea to ask Rian this question, but the boy's response is pristine. Now, where the fuck do you think he got this from? Where the fuck do you think he got this from, this confidence? Okay? It's something that I talked to him. My cousin just came up here, and she's someone that folds to package hate all the time. She should stay and she'll learn a lot from this lecture. But where do you think he got this from? Now, I'm not sitting and teaching him public speaking, right? Okay. But I'm public speaking goddamn every fucking day, and he's witnessing it and stuff, right? And I've told you and everyone, I tell my staff, I tell everybody out there, everything, that you cannot yeah, it can't be a fucking, you guys don't like it if I say the R word, right? And so forth, just the woke white West. But I mean, the guy was pristine, and you have to watch this, and you have to understand. Where does that put him as a 13-year-old? Okay, globally, right? It's the CR7 level that I always talk about, the top 0.1% of the planet, and that's where Rian is at 13 years old. Okay, so even though my horse didn't win, okay, suddenly, before race 1 even, I'm a winner. I've just done this interview. They've published this interview with me and Rian. They've published a one-on-one with Rian. Okay, so we go to my race is the last race of the day, but my client was in town, so I got invited to the parade circle with him, and I went to another race as well in the parade circle, the Longines Cup, the big one, with Rian and my father. And it's a place to be seen, okay, because you're with the elite of the horse racing world. Okay, so I was a guest of my buddy who had flown down with his horse one race, but then in the big cup, the Longines Cup, I haven't put out any of this content, but I will put out this content, right? You're amidst the to be seen people, the top racing people on the planet. And Rian was shocked when I got him a pass to come down, and it was me, him, my father. Amazing generational stuff, right? Like, I don't even know what goes on in the kid's mind because he's not emotive, right? But this education for him is absolutely fucking priceless, right? This education for my son is absolutely fucking priceless, and it is derived from me being me, okay? Me being the brash, aggressive person that I am, right? This education is derived for him. Now, if you look at my oldest child, Serena, who shies away, and there's an interview I'll talk about in a second, she got 10 A's out of 10 in her GCSEs. She's 16 years old right now. And 7 of them were A stars. I'm sure I mentioned this on the last stream, right? So, I mean, I can't take credit for that. But we have the resources to provide her with everything that she needs because she wants to strive. She wants to go to Cambridge, okay? Where do those resources emanate from? The resources emanate from me. How do I create those resources? By being the person that I am. I create those resources from being the person that I am, right? Otherwise, if I'm not me, I can't create the resources to provide Serena with the environment that she needs to be a student who strives for only straight A's. Like anything less is not good enough for her. Okay? And so forth. We go to the last race, and the Australian news media follows us around, okay? And they film us. And then whilst we're at the last race, the British media come and they give a big interview, and you've seen what they've produced. So at the end of the weekend, all right, we come out with 3 videos from the Australian media and 2 videos from the British media. The first video of the British media is incredible. It is off the cuff, completely unplanned. They just sneak in on us. It is great. And the third video of the Australian media, I think all 3 videos of Australian media are amazing, because the first one is an interview, okay, of me and Rian about Sam Saylor and stuff. And then Rian showing off how amazing he is. The second one is a one-on-one Rian. And the third one that they produced, the last video that came out, is this long video of the whole paddock experience down to the race. So we had 3 Australian media videos produced and collaborated with my 3 Instagram accounts, okay? And they gave me the videos and I put them on all platforms. And 2 from the British media. And that's what I mean, you've got to win even if you're not winning. So I went there and my horse didn't win, but I come out as a huge winner, right? With incredible, one-of-a-kind, unique media coverage, okay? Now, let's talk about, okay, so those are huge wins for me, right? And how do I get to those wins? Do they randomly say, oh, that guy's tall, let's go interview him? No, it's because of me. It's because of how nutty I am, how aggressive I am, how candid I am, how brash I am, how bold I am, right? Okay, that the 2 different sets of media, okay, one from Australia and one from the United Kingdom, seeked me out and said, we want to do this with this guy. They have other interviews, bits, bobs here, they're garbage fillers, this, that, boring shit. But the 5 largest pieces of content, 3 and 2, right? Their best content, their most viewed content, okay? Their biggest videos, all right? You can go to their channels and just look at the views. Their biggest videos, biggest views from the weekend came from interviewing me, recording me, featuring me, editing me, okay? And I got there not because of some random luck on the day. It's because of what I've been doing for the last 2 years, right? Being me, okay? Being me has gained me lots and lots and lots of success, all right? There's no doubt about that, right? And we can go back to, the friend that shed me that said that, oh, for every 5 fans you gain, 5 fans, you're losing 1,000 customers. Right? That's what my best friend who shed me said, right? For every 5 fans you gain, you're losing 1,000 customers. But you follow me in my daily life, I don't see that. I mean, I really just don't see that, right? Media outlets are genuinely interested in featuring me, okay? Why? They don't give a fuck about me. Right? And getting me is not a coup. I don't own a fucking $10 million horse. And I don't own a horse that won one of these championship races, these world championship races. They interview me because they feel that it is a great sort of, story aspect to give to their viewers. And the views itself prove it. And to get there, it just doesn't happen. It means that I have thrown out magic earlier. Okay? Along this racing thing, along this social media thing, I throw out my magic. Sometimes nobody sees it. I throw a lot of magic. Sometimes the trick doesn't work. But, sometimes the fruition comes immediately. But sometimes the fruition can come later, even 1 year later. So it really is incredible. It really is incredible. And we hark back to 1 year ago, the Sun? Was it the Sun? I've shown you guys this big article, right? I think it was the Sun featured me on horse racing because I was at the International Jockeys Championship, even though my horse came fucking 6th that day, right? So even when you don't win, I win. Do you now understand what that means, right? Even when I don't win, I fucking win. I always tell you guys this. Even when I don't win, I win. So being a true winner, okay? Being a true winner, being a serial winner is winning even when you don't win. And that's what I continue to do, right? That's what I continue to do. When I say throwing out magic, I'm saying, planting seeds, potential seeds, crazy seeds. Throw the seeds. Don't know what's going to happen. Seeds. And it fucking happens for me. And you've got to throw these seeds out. You've got to be bold enough to throw these seeds out. Okay? Because if you don't, the magic's not going to happen. You can't be disappointed. You can't say, shit, I threw out so many fucking seeds. I tried so many different angles. I tried so many different things. Nothing happened. Something will happen. You just got to keep pushing. Okay? And no matter what the woke white west says and stuff, and no matter what the welfare lovers and the handout lovers say and stuff, is that you've got to be this type of person, right? You've got to be brash if you want to differentiate yourself. You've got to be bold if you want to differentiate yourself, okay? Now, understand what I'm saying. Contain what I'm saying. Don't extrapolate it into nonsense, okay? Don't extrapolate what I'm saying to nonsense. Contain what I'm saying, all right? I'm specifically focused on me and what I do and how I do it. So don't extrapolate what I'm saying into nonsense. Contain what I'm saying. Internalize it. Understand what I do for me and understand how, if you could utilize what I do, okay, for yourself, see what success it brings you. And I guarantee you it will bring you a ton of fucking success because I am a walking fucking success machine, okay? I wish I was a walking sex machine, but unfortunately I'm fucking married. I'm being a dick. So yes, I'll say it again. I would love to be a walking sex machine. I think I am, but I'm tied down, okay? But I am a walking success machine, okay, as well, okay? Whether you like it or not, and whether you believe it or not, my every day fucking proves it. But every day is a grind. Every day is the grind that you have to do. And every day is the grind of what you're doing when nobody knows. You're mentally throwing out your magic. You're mentally throwing out your seed. And that shit is fucking huge. That shit has gotten me all these different coups across my career. This gets me all these coups every single fucking day. And that's what I want my son to understand and learn. But he's way too young to understand that stuff. But so far, what I'm doing is brushing off on him. Okay? Right? So for him, what does he see? He's not going to be an aggressive salesperson because he's too young for that, right? But he wants to be a great designer, and that's what he's doing in his work. He's designing clothes for people, and he's recommending and stuff, and he's off the hook. At 13 years old, he's a brilliant suit designer. And then he's a brilliant video maker. And then he's a brilliant interviewee. You swipe away everything I've done in the last 26 years of success, and you use what I've just told you, what I've given to my son, as forgiveness for all my mistakes, okay? I think everything I've done myself redeems anything that you could possibly think I've done bad, all right? And, I'd like to throw out there that, what are you doing for your children, right? And maybe you should be doing more. All I know is I'm the guy who's up every single fucking day. And, my message to women out there, if you're out in the living room with your child and your husband's still sleeping, you've got the wrong husband. I'm awake before anybody is ever fucking awake. And that's pretty much it. Now listen, there is no better feeling than seeing so many top people, right, wearing the suits that I made them. Now I'm walking around the international races, right? And I'm not saying every other person is wearing my suit, no, far from it. But so many top people, former jockeys, the current jockeys' wives, all the presenters, right? All the male presenters are wearing my suits. And there's no better fucking feeling. I mean, it's absolutely fucking brilliant. Like, why wouldn't you be happy when everyone's wearing your product? It's such vindication, especially when they're personalities or stars, or superstars, or former superstars, okay? But they're all wearing Sam Taylor as I walk around, and it is absolutely fucking remarkable, right? You can't beat that. You can't beat that when you're dressing the world's best, the world's most famous people. I proved that in international races by seeing so many people wearing my stuff that week. I proved that, and I showed you, the world champion jockey, James McDonald, in my store yet again, year after year. Whenever he comes to Hong Kong to gain his crown, to win his races, he buys my suits, he wears them to the crowning events. And I worked with another celebrity on Monday, you know what I mean? A 40-year veteran of Hollywood, Tia Carrera, right? So, yeah, I think it's been an okay week. I think it's been a pretty fucking good week yet again. And you have to have these weeks it's the same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo, right? If he's not fucking doing magic every game once a week, he'll never become the C-Ron that he is, right? He wouldn't have become. And that's what I'm telling you, like, one time is not good enough. You win a trophy, like Bill Belichick said, right? You win the trophy, it's gone. Fuck you. And every win that I've had in my life, I take the win, I give it to those who I love. I say, here, it's yours. My job was to achieve it, okay? I'm the self-professed captain, okay? I have commandeered this ship. I deal in success, correct? I want to be judged by success, correct? I put myself out there, blatantly and transparently, always, right? And whatever I gain, I don't need to flout, because you've seen the beauty of the way I've set things up for me is that you see me live with the wins across anything in life, whether it's celebrity, whether it's the horses, whether it's the government, anything in business. And as soon as I get that win, I just give it to my loved ones. I say, I'm done. I'm done. I'm here to do what I do. And now I need to move on to the next success. Because I am the captain, the self-professed captain, the commandeered captain. Okay? And that's what makes you a hero. All right? That's what makes you a fucking man. People don't like to hear that. They want pronouns. I don't know what the fuck pronouns are. If you know what pronouns are, try to explain them to me. You know what I mean? But that's what makes me a fucking man. And that's what men need to be. You know what I mean? There's so many young men now who are not Casanovas. They're not romanticists. You know, so many young women have been deprived of such men. You know what I mean? I'm a total romanticist. I'm a total Casanova, okay? Young women nowadays, I think all of them have been deprived of such men, okay? So when both young women and young men see my videos, right, they're shocked. Because their intercourse, and I'm not talking about just sexual intercourse, their intercourse stems from screens and keyboards. And I'm a hard-hitting old school guy, right? Like, I'll hit on any babe that walks into my store and stuff, right? But in a comical way. And you've seen that in my videos, right? It's nothing serious, all fun. But young women don't understand this, and when young women see it, they don't understand it. When they see my videos with women, they don't understand it. And obviously, everyone is in the act. We've established this long ago, right? And there is no script or whatever, right? But I'm a hard-hitting, old-school Casanova romanticist. So when I do a video with a woman, I know exactly what the fuck to say, okay? But people watching who are my age, right, they'll completely understand it. They may roll their eyes because they're dicks, right? Or scoff at me because they're cunts, right? But they will totally get it. Or they could just, be jumping on the big bandwagon that I do have, loving the shit out of it. And, saying, yes, this guy's fucking hilarious. Yes, this guy's the motherfucking man. You understand what I mean? But so many young people, because, young women are not hit on guys. Guys don't know how to go up to a girl and hit because girls don't put themselves in the situation. Everything is ding, 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 ding. I don't know what the fuck they do. Ding, 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 ding. This is how they date. This is how they meet. This is how they interact. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? I've always said, you know what I mean? I need to go to a place to find a fucking girl. That's the type of guy that I am. I see a beautiful girl in front of me. I can't help myself. I need to talk to her. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that occurs anymore, right? Because these young men, they're not Casanovas, they're not romanticists. So many young women have been deprived of such men. So when both of them see my videos, they are shocked because their intercourse stems from screens and keyboards, and I'm a hard-hitting old school guy, and so forth. They're missing out, all right? They're missing out. They need to go and have normal fucking interaction and intercourse. Go to a fucking club and find a girl. Jesus Christ, you don't have to fucking drink. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Can we block this guy, Owen Seawood, please? So I will continue doing these remarkable videos with women, and you will see that these videos get an immense amount of views, right? And they're clean as fuck. It's just dialogue, right? I've always told you guys that I'm the inventor of drip and rizz. I am drip and rizz before anybody knew the terms drip and rizz, and I'm the inventor of aura as well. You know what I mean? I have orinated, no, that's not a word. You know what I mean? I've been full of aura, drip, and rizz for decades, but I work hard on it. I wanted to have aura, I wanted to have drip, I wanted to have riz, okay? And I wanted it to be my own kind before I even knew it was my own kind. And now, and for the longest time, I've had my own aura, my own drip, my own riz, created my way, and it has worked for me great. And the thing is, bro, I have been dumped, rejected by more women than I've actually hit on. I need to ban this guy. I wonder if there are any moderators on Facebook. There's no need to come on and insult me. You know, there are so many husbands, right, that are sleeping. They're just asleep. I'm telling you, this town is full of them. This town's full of husbands that are sleeping and living on inheritance money, okay? All right? Their father's inheritance money. They're buying cars from their father's inheritance money. You know what I mean? They're providing for their women with their father's inheritance money. You know what I mean? Their women are in the living room with their children in the mornings while their husbands are sleeping because they're sleeping on their father's inheritance money. And this town is full of that stuff. I'm not saying this town is not full of entrepreneurs as well, but you should really come to Hong Kong and you can really see through that. You can see how many guys just sleep, how many guys have their belly sticking out like cunts, how many guys are buying stuff based on what their fathers made, right? Am I having a swipe at them? Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Why am I having a swipe at them? Because their bitch wives and themselves always say to me that, you know, or say about me that I am who I am only because of the platform that my father gave me. What the fuck? My father gave me nothing. He's still here. He's here right now. My father gave me nothing. I commandeered this shit for myself and I made it my fucking own. And that's what I plan to continue to do. And when I talk to Rian, I tell him, bro, you gotta be you. You be you. I say this to Sari as well. Serena doesn't talk to me much. I always tell Rian, I always tell Sari, you be you and I'll back you up. I'm your trampoline. I'm your safety belt. I'm your fucking everything. Okay? All right? You fall, you bump, you crash. I'll handle that. That aspect is me. Okay? But you be you. You be you. Right? I tell Rian and Sari, you gotta be you. And let's see how that happens. You know what I mean? Don't aspire to be me. Don't aspire to be fucking anyone else. Whatever the fuck is inside of you, you gotta be you. You know what I mean? My kids' lives is about them. You know, my current appeal, my appeal to current prospective university students everywhere is massive. Okay? And I know this because since COVID started, right, and we still did have people who'd come over as exchange students, right, for one term. So, you know, for the last 6 years, whatever, the amount of students that have come here and then come to my shop to buy suits or to say hello, I really like the hello aspect, right? I'm not even chuffed anymore, but I don't mean to be a dick about that, right? But the amount of students that come here to buy suits, exchange students, based on my videos, based on watching my videos, they'd watch my videos back home, and I'm like their first stop. I mean, it's very flattering, but it's also such an amazing yardstick for success. It's such an amazing measure of success, and I fucking love it. And I encourage all young people there who are in uni or just about to go to university, come to Hong Kong, even if it's just for a semester, or do your whole degree here, okay? Now I'll tell you why, all right? Aside from Hong Kong being an amazing fucking city, aside from it being the safest city on the planet, aside from it having some of the best infrastructure on the planet, definitely the best metro ever, aside from it being a food city, a party city, right? And these are so many things, right? Aside from it being a city where you very rarely see homeless people and you very rarely see litter, okay? You struggle to find a litter bin, okay? Our government, okay? Our extravagant government is rolling out the red carpet for you. Trust me, okay? I read about this in the papers every day, and, you know, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. More housing for international students, more, I don't know if it's kickbacks is the right word, but more treats, more something to allure international students, okay? And, of course, education in our city is amazing, right? We are the only city on the planet, you go and fact check this, we're the only city on the planet with our 6 big universities, all ranked in the top 100 of the globe. Now, they may not be anywhere near number 1 like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, etc., but our big 6 are all ranked in the inside the top 100 of the world. And that is huge. We're the only city that has 6 universities ranked consistently inside the global top 100 of the world. All right? And our extravagant government will roll out the red carpet for you as an international student. I guarantee you that, all right? Great education, great city, great experience. And when you go back to your home country, you can then silence the woke white West about its ridiculous rhetoric about China. Oh my goodness. The amount of ridiculous rhetoric about China that goes on in the Western media is just nonsense. I mean, like, why would you believe what the fuck BBC and CNN says? You can just watch my life on Instagram. You can watch other local people's lives on Instagram and see the freedom and the prosperity and the technology here. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a vivid city. It's just so brilliant. You know, we've got cuisine, the most magnificent of it, hiking, nightlife. Oh my God, so much. And all walking distance, okay, or a spaceship-like metro, okay, from train service that we have. You know what I mean? It is fucking easy as shit. Sorry, this is some cheat sheet notes here. We have it all, and we also have over 200 islands here in Hong Kong. Okay, so beaches galore, absolute beaches fucking galore. All right, so this is a place to come to, and it's a place to come to when you're young. I guarantee you that. And if you're already past the university age, like I've said before over and over and over again, come here to work because our maximum tax rate is only 17%. Generally, if you're a successful individual, you pay only 15 or less. And your actual tax rate will be actually lower than that after the deductions, right? Come here and work. Come here and work. Come here and work. If you're living in the United States, you're still bound to pay taxes back home. But if you're living in Great Britain or across Europe, in countries where you're not bound to pay tax back home, why not set up in Hong Kong for a little while? Enjoy the great salaries that you can get here, right? Hong Kong pays big money to people, right? And enjoy the low tax rate. It's silly not to come. A friend that shed me, right? She said that my controversial honesty, okay, will scare off advertisers. Look, we've already talked about customers, right? Let's talk about the new Black Optical. Let's talk about Gaylord. Let's talk about that Indian sweet shop. Let's talk about all the Korean restaurants, right? No, I don't think so. Okay, so I'll reiterate. You know, a friend that shed me said to me that my controversial honesty will scare off advertisers. You know, the way I fucking am. Okay. And that's why people only give you one chance. People don't really only give me one chance. They probably only can afford me once, okay? And they probably want to move on to something else, right? Because they've already tried me once and maybe saturated what they can get from me, okay? But I have a multitude of Korean restaurant sponsors, which you know. I have the new Black Optical, which is marquee for me. I have Gaylords. I had that other Indian store, I can't remember what the fuck they're called. And then I've had so many sponsors, gyms, shoes, you name it, fucking hair, fucking pills, jewelry, right? Throughout my time and stuff. Just because they only hire me one time or two times doesn't mean that they're scared off. And the fact that I have so many sponsors, right, doesn't mean that people are going to be are being scared off. Now listen, you've got to understand something, right? That I am a niche person, okay? I'm a niche person. I choose to be me. I only want to be me. I don't want to be homogenous. I'm not there to appeal to the masses by changing myself. If I can appeal to the masses, if I can win the masses over by just being me, great, okay? Great. And if I can't, okay, no problem. I'm still winning. I keep talking about this, right? Hello, Vietnam. But I'm not changing myself or scaling myself back for the chance to win over the masses, okay? Being niche, I think, pushes you much further forward, much faster, because everybody else, okay, 99% of the world are trying to be somebody that is very mainstream to attract the mass, and they just don't break out. They do not break out as stars. They do not break out as stars. They do not break out as fucking stars, right? I am being me. That makes me niche. Why does it make me niche? Because not many people are being themselves. They're trying to be completely mainstream and appeal to the masses. I appeal to the masses. I appeal to the masses by being me. It's a huge win already. Okay, it's a huge fucking win. All right, and as I always say, don't listen to package hate. Don't listen to anybody around you. All fucking dicks. You want to listen to someone? Listen to fucking me. Okay. If you actually ask me for advice, and if I wasn't qualified to give you the advice, I'd tell you go see a professional. But I tell you what type of professional to see. If you have to push hard to make things work, even if there's no realistic chance of things happening from it, doesn't matter. Do it. And that's what I said at the start of this monologue, right? Push hard to make things work, even if there's no realistic chance of things happening from it. Because if you keep pushing, if you keep throwing out those seeds, if you keep throwing out those magic spells, the universe will reward you, God will reward you. I guarantee you that. And whether you like it or not, believe it or not, accept it or not, I have a massive global fan base. And this monologue, this lecture, this what I do every Sunday is my opportunity and my choice to open up to them and be as transparent as possible. Okay? If networks, I've always said this, if networks won't give me my own show, I'll use the platforms available to me. Okay? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Douyin, Rednote, X. I think that might cover it. Okay? I will use, if these networks won't give me my own show, I'll use the available platforms to create my own show. Okay? I'm open to great questions and as many questions as you want to post during the monologue, but we get flooded with these questions. Okay? We get flooded with these questions, and I can only answer them at the end of the monologue. So I urge you to all stay with me. Okay? All right? Remember, I've never sold out. I've never gone Hollywood. My paid commercials are me. Okay? They're one and done, one take. When I take payment for a commercial and stuff, and I say, look, I'm not following your script. You tell me the vibe you want to generate, and it's got to be about me, and I only do one take. Okay? That's not ego, I promise you. You're not hiring me to fit me into a box. Okay? So I'll tell you something that really set me free. I think it was in 2016 or 17, around then. It wasn't 18. Okay? Somebody asked me to be the MC of a big celebration over the course of a couple of days. And I said, are you sure you want me? They're like, yeah. And I said, I suggested somebody else who within our community did a lot of MCing. They're like, no, we don't. We specifically don't want that person. We want you. I said, but if you want me, you have to accept that you're asking me to be me. I can't be somebody else. They're like, no, we want you. And this was something huge. And it was a lot of exposure very early in my career. Okay? And I've always stuck to that. I've never sold out. I've never gone Hollywood. My paid commercials are me. So if you watch my commercials, they're me. They're my attitude, my script, my one and done, my thoughts, everything. And that's basically it. Now, I'm going to maybe stop now and take a break and answer some questions. If you have questions, now I will answer them. And if you don't have them, then I will continue talking for a few more minutes. Okay, so someone's asking about Cameo. So already this month, we're on the 21st of December, I've done 111 cameos. Okay, that's 111 private videos. I make the best cameos, always. I consistently rank in the top 5% of cameo creators. My cameos are fucking cheap, much cheaper than all the A-list celebrities. Obviously, I'm way behind the A-list celebrities, okay? But I am still up there, top 5%. So my Christmas cameos are absolutely incredible. If you need anything from me on Cameo, hit me up on the Cameo app. I will fucking say anything, and I'm fucking hilarious. So this is one of the questions. So I'm in Hong Kong. I'm not in China. Is my dad still holding me back? Yeah, of course. But maybe that's a good thing, right? That's a great fucking question, right? Is my dad still holding me back? Yeah, of course, right? But maybe that's a good thing. Because if he hadn't held me back my entire life, maybe I would have fucked up everything. Okay? Maybe I would have fucked up everything. So I don't know, right? But there's still time for me to have full control, right? But right now I'm having a great time, even though I'm struggling, doing what I do, and I feel like I'm fighting for everything, so I'm earning everything because I've always got him holding me back, right? my top 5 favorite clients, I cannot say and stuff. But Alan Shearer is definitely up there. I've had a great time working with him, and he's helped me a lot. And Tom Segura is definitely up there. I've had a great time working with him. He's helped me a lot. And Imagine Dragons are definitely up there. I have a great time working with them. They've helped me a lot. Okay. How did I find my purpose and calling in life? It's very, very easy. Okay. So my parents had a very nasty divorce. Okay, back in '88, and they were just like yucky, okay? And I didn't have much of a relationship with my father, but I chose to live with him because heritage and legacy was very important to me, and I felt as though, you know, I had a calling from God, and this is all true, and I've talked about it before. And I, you know, ever since then, I saw my father's struggles and how hard he worked. I also saw what dicks my parents were when I was young. My dad's still a fucking dick. My mom is still a dick towards me. You know what I mean? We had a good phase in between, but now she fucking hates me because she hates my fucking videos. You know what I mean? She can't get over them. She just can't get over my fucking videos. Okay? Even my dad hates my fucking videos, but he whores me out, right? What I've said. He whores me out to make a sale. No, he whores Rihanna out now to make a sale. But the question is, how do I find my purpose and calling, right? So, like, look, let me give you some backstory, right? So, my mom would say, write to Santa Claus what you want for Christmas. And I'd write, I've said this before, I want these Caran d'Ache pencils one year. And I got these cheap supermarket pencils, cheaper than anything you could ever find in Target. The most piece of shit ever. Okay? I wrote that I want these felt tip pens from Caran d'Ache, and I got these cheapest felt tip pens, more cheaper than you could ever get from Target or Walmart, from China. Okay, one year. I wrote I want a soccer ball, like a proper Adidas or a Nike soccer ball, and I got this plastic thing from China that's not even a soccer ball. Okay, that's the type my parents were. Okay, you know what I mean? I've said this before. You know, my dad's greatest trick was fooling me at that age into thinking that I was poor. Okay, and you know, I remember, like, I think it was my 11th birthday, 10th birthday, 9th birthday, it was Saturday night, and I was watching Nicholas Nickleby, right? How ironic. And they were going out, and I begged them not to go out, and I begged them, don't go out, it's my birthday, don't go out. And they even got me a cake, and they left the cake on the table, and they didn't even cut the cake with me. They just say, here's your cake, have your fucking cake, we've got to go out, okay? So I always, long before I had children, whilst I was still a teen, pre-teen, I always wanted to have my own kids. I always said that I wanted my own Roshan, Avisha, Sheena, and my sisters. This, you know, I was like that when I was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, blah, 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 right? I always wanted my own children. I always wanted my own Roshan, Avisha, Sheena. I ended up with my own Serena Sari Rian. God is amazing. I always said to myself, as, you know, God, please give me the ability, the luck, the success, to just give my children the life that my father gave me, and that worked out for me, and I should have asked for more. Okay, so I'm very, very lucky. And those are just a couple of things that shaped me and gave me my purpose and my calling in life. And here I am. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I've been the same guy, always, and that's just me. I've heard of the Indian brand Raymond, but I don't live in India. I live in Hong Kong, so I don't know anything about it. But many people have brought me suit lengths from Raymond over the years, over the course of 26 years. And I've made suits out of their fabric, just like any other fabrics. My patents seem very cool. Do you mean my parents? I don't understand what that means. If you could retype your question, maybe I could answer it. And from YouTube. So Michelle Stolch, I need you to send me 1,000 sterling. Just like everybody else does, and then we can begin on your first suit, and I will answer all your questions and so forth then, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, basically, what am I doing for a living, right? So I'm taking 1,000 sterling at minimum from starters, and then I'm giving them advice and help them build their first suit and stuff, right? So, you know, I'm open to personal questions and questions about my career and all that stuff, but if you're asking me for free advice on suits, then no, I can't give you free advice on suits, because that's what I do for a living, right? That's what I do for a living. Right, I give people advice on suits, and I bring their vision to life. I don't dictate, I create. So that's not sort of the advice that I'm going to give out for free on my live streams. the way to order from me, if you're not coming to Hong Kong, and you can see this on all my live streams, and I do them every week. Jesus fucking Christ, I do them every day actually, right? I just don't live stream them anymore. Is that you can send me your measurements. I think I've said this line, I don't know, a billion times, and I'm not being negative towards you or condescending. Send me your measurements through the measurement chart on my website, and then I can make you something amazing. If you don't want to send me your measurements, send me your best fitting suit. I just need that as a base, and I will do a virtual consultation with you in a virtual fitting, and I will create something amazing. I will improve upon it. My parents are still very cold towards me. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. I know my mom was very loving at a certain point, but society was really, really important to her. Her social life was really, really important to her. You know what I mean? She was very, very, very loving and stuff. And, you know, till today, she chooses to move in her direction. Her life is very important to her. Okay? Her well-being is very important to her. And so it should be. My well-being is very important to me. And I just provide for my kids, and I provide for my family, and that's basically it. You know what I mean? Like, I give so much to them, right? I give so much to them. I give them time, I give them wealth, I give them platform, I give them fame, I give them my bulldozerness. You know what I mean? You want something, I'll fucking get it for you easy. You know what I mean? I'm the big bad wolf, right? And stuff. So, and then, you know, I have to take care of myself, right? But my dad is like, you know, 50-50 there. Sometimes he's good to me, and a lot of times he's horrible to me, right? He'll never say, I love you, son, he'll never hug me. But sometimes he gives me stuff out of the blue. Sometimes he helps me when I need my help. But that's like, you know, nearly 50% of the time. Other than that, 50% of the time, he's the biggest asshole in the world, undermining fucker that he is, right? And so forth. And then, like I said, my mom, yeah, she loved me as a child and so forth. But I think that, you know, her well-being, her everything, it's always been about her. She left. She got married, she moved, this, that. Do I resent her for it? No. I mean, I'm cool, right? You can't, like, grasp, oh, what would life be if my parents stayed married and, you know, we had a great Sindhi upbringing and we were all in one house and this and that, whatever. They say, you can't talk about stuff that never happened, right? You can't change the past. There's no use playing imaginary games, okay? So it's very, very simple, right? Like, you know, not everyone, I don't know how your parents are, right? And so forth, right? But I know how I want to be a parent, and I've said this long before social media, in all my interviews to big media, right, TV and print, that my greatest gift from my dad is to teach me how to be the great father that I am, okay? Because he's a shitty dad most of the time, okay? So that was my greatest gift. You know, just love my kids. I fucking love my kids. I fucking kiss my kids. I hug my kids. I adore my kids. I absolutely fucking adore them. So that's a great lesson that he gave me, you know what I mean? Like, it just, you know, right, because he was a shitty dad. I mean, you can work, I work many, many hours, but you can hug your kid when you see your kid. You can love your kid, but you can see your kid. You can kiss your kid when you see your kid. You can tell your kid that you love them. You can tell your kid, you know, is there anything I can do for you? That was all absent. I'm not saying that he's horrid, right? But I'm just saying he's like, you know, just under 50% good. And then just over 50% awful, right? So that's how he is. And then my mom is very, you know, I tried very hard to keep my relationship with my mom going for a very long time. I flew out a couple of times. So she bought a ticket and upgraded to business class a couple of times. I bought a lot of jewelry once before I got married. You know what I'm saying? I housed her if I could, took out for, you know, did whatever I could, you mean? Was a great son to her when she used to visit and stuff. And she was very good to me when I used to visit her. And then, I don't know, I got married and sort of things went pear-shaped and so forth. And they've been like that ever since. And I can't remember the last time I saw her. Maybe 2017, 2018, she came to Hong Kong. And she's not interested in coming anymore. She's not interested in seeing me and stuff. And I told her, I'll visit you. And she says, I don't think I can handle you. And I said, you're judging me off the person. I mean, take this. Now, the haters will say, like, you know, my community here will say, the friends that I shed, the friends that shed me will say that this is exactly what we're saying. Right? Your on-screen persona puts people off. I said my on-screen persona is to drive sales. You understand what I'm saying? My on-screen persona is to drive sales. How are you judging me by my on-screen persona? It doesn't make any fucking sense. My on-screen persona is to drive sales, right? You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, right? And so forth. So if my mom, you know, feels distant from me and doesn't want to see me because she's put up by my on-screen persona, she won't even let me fly and visit her. She's now living in Spain. She left Luxembourg. What the fuck am I going to do about it? You know what I mean? What the fuck am I going to do about it? She's like, she doesn't think she can handle me. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, you're fucking the stupidest thing. Me and my sisters have this convo as well. You know what I mean? They both say, I mean, the younger woman will not say she's stupid. The older woman will say, yeah, she's fucking stupid. How does someone who comes from a dysfunctional settings break out and win? Are you talking about me or are you talking about you? This is virtually eidetic. I came from a very dysfunctional setting where I was a little boy home alone while my father was working very, very hard to provide for me and become world and globally fucking famous in the most cleanest way. Okay? And we were the talk of the town because we were the first Indian divorce ever. But I came from a very dysfunctional setting and I became a breakout superstar. So, are you asking about me or are you asking about you? I really am not sure. I really did stop to give you guys a chance to ask questions. I'm really not getting many questions now. Okay. How did your dad get his name out there to attract all those high-profile celebs before social media was around? Grind, brother. The hardest fucking grind that you can ever imagine, okay, is what my dad did. You don't understand what the fuck my dad did to achieve this. You know what I mean? The amount of calls that he made, the amount of people that he spoke to, the amount of, dreams that he threw out there to try and make this a reality. What I've always preached is grind to you guys, okay? You won't, unless you have Cristiano Ronaldo skills, or Beyonce singing skills and stuff, right? Or your Patrick Mahomes and stuff. If you buy into the protests, if you buy into the 5-day, 4-day, 3-day work week, if you buy into dress down, if you buy into work from home, you're never, I guarantee you, that you're never, ever, 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 ever going to be successful. You guys had a short wave of 6 years where, the work from home, the 3-day work week could have worked, may have worked, kind of worked the same. It's over. Okay? Those people have exposed themselves. They've exposed themselves and they've created opportunity for potentially you to grind, to work hard 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week, dress up, be aggressive. You will succeed. Okay? You will succeed even more because up until this slowdown, everybody was doing that. Okay? And then, mental health became a big deal, which I've said over and over again, I do not believe in. Okay? And I'm happy for you to screen record that and just pump it up there. I don't believe in mental health issues, okay? These fucking weak ones that we have everywhere and stuff, okay? So you're in a prime position to succeed right now because you've had this tranche where people have done work from home, digital nomad, don't dress up, 4-day work week, no suits, all that shit. But whereas before you were going up against everybody grinded. Okay, so now you have all these woke fucks who've fallen into this hole. Great, take the opportunity. While these woke fucks, while these protesters, while these welfare lovers, while these handout lovers, 4-day work weeks, work from home, dress down, while they've been doing this, the guy who grinds, the guy who dresses up, he's been killing it. So I cannot give you any other answer besides that answer. Okay? I mean, my son is 13 years old. He drops in this, that, and he's killing it. Just with drop-ins. But he's dropping in the right way. He's dropping in that old school path. And he's killing it. So I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get a chance to talk about Serene and Sari. Well, I spent a lot of time talking about the girls the other week. We can talk about them again next week and stuff. So there's your fucking answer. One advice for a 26-year-old guy starting I don't understand your question or the disclaimer. Don't ever use disclaimers, okay? Bro, you just got to work and believe. If you believe you're going to be successful, then you have to work, okay? You have to grind. You have to push your product, okay? Fuck your friends. Don't take time off. And kill yourself, right? You will be happy coming out on the other side, all right? I mean, I can give job advice based on the qualification that, I've worked 6.5 days a week for 26 years, right? And then I've worked for a corporation in London. I've worked for a corporation in Hong Kong 5 days a week, right? Wearing suits and so forth, right? I went to NYU, etc., right? I can give that sort of advice. But that's the truth, right? You want to be successful, you got to grind. And that's pretty much it. Now, guys, you got a chance to ask me questions. I've still been going on for a long time, or I can call it quits here. I use the Instagram. On Instagram, we're on 74 minutes. I usually kill it at 75 minutes. So if you shoot me one last question, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I will say bye. I will stay on YouTube and Instagram. I'll stay on YouTube and Facebook, but I will say bye to Insta first. I love you, Insta. Thank you for everything you do for me.